Hey everyone, my topic today is on why it's important for students to be able to have their cell phones at school. I have two small children. Of course, one, she's not in school yet, but I do have a little boy who's only in elementary school, but he does know how to work a cell phone. He does know how to answer it. He does know how to read a text. I don't think it's important for him so much as older kids to be able to have their phones, but I do think it's important for kids that are of that age, that are responsible enough to know when and when not to pull it out, to have their phones out. For example, some reasons are it is easier to reach them in an emergency. It's easier for them to call out for help. It's easier to reach them in a situation such as if they're older and they're in school and they also have a job. If their boss needs them to come in or not to come in, they can simply just send them a message or leave them a message and they can check it. And that could be a factor on how they get home, whether they should ride a bus or ride a car or catch a ride with someone. I think there are many reasons why they should be allowed their phones in school, as long as there are limitations. A lot of my information I got from familyeducation.com. There's different reasons as to why and why they shouldn't, and I think the reasons why are very important. People are coming on campuses nowadays, taking children. Children are being kids, being teenagers, and leaving campus, and people, including their teachers, their parents, are not knowing where they are. I think that if they have a cell phone on them, it's easy to reach them in a crisis. It's easy to reach them if something happens, such as a health situation, if someone tries to abduct them, or just anything of that nature. Most kids, teenagers, text a lot more than they do call or talk on the phone these days. I think that if a parent wants a child to catch the bus instead of walking home or waiting on them to come pick them up, it's easier for them to send them a text message and the student check it, of course, in between classes or at their lunch period. And it's just easier for them to know that way because they can simply just text back and say okay, so their parent knows they got the message. Sometimes when that message comes to the office and they say, hey, tell my son so-and-so to ride the bus, well, that office person could forget, or they can get the message across and the student just doesn't get it. The teacher cannot be in the classroom. The office worker has a hard time reaching that teacher. Sometimes those messages just don't get across. I'm a parent. It's happened with my nieces and nephews before. They're told to do one thing, they don't get the message, and they do another, and the parent is, of course, freaking out because they don't know where their kid is. Like I said, a lot of reasons why is important. It's mainly for emergencies, or if they're hurt, or if it's just something simple to where they shouldn't have to distract the whole class or disturb the whole class by the phone ringing and the teacher having to call the student up or go over to the student and disrupt class by giving them a simple message such as to ride the bus or to ride home with whoever they need to ride home with. I think it's also important because if that student doesn't have their phone on them and something critical happens and that message didn't get across fast enough, it can make a difference on the effect of that particular situation, how it affects that child. Sometimes the student could be in a bathroom or anywhere on campus in an area where there's no adult supervision for whatever reason, in the locker room, anywhere, and something happens, like they get bullied or someone hurts them or they're having an asthma attack, just things of those natures. Well, us having a cell phone makes it a lot easier than that student or someone else running to go find help. I mean, of course, no one wants their student to pull out a phone and record anyone getting bullied or fighting. I think that sometimes that's important because if your child is the victim, that video could help to better understand what happened. That's just an example. Those are my reasons for today. I do have other sources that'll be listed in a link after this video. However, I think the most important part is why students should have their phones is in case of an emergency or a health crisis or anything of that nature, or to help if anything was to happen in the future, such as, like I said, your child getting bullied or hurt. Well, that video could lead to evidence as to what truly happened, and that's not always a good thing to be recorded, but sometimes it can be helpful. Thank you for watching.